Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Health Phenom, SP3. We are back once again with an exclusive interview for Tru Heels BTR Between the Ropes with the Impact Wrestling X Division champion, Trey Miguel. Thank you so much, Trey, for joining me. How you doing today?
Man, jet lag. Jet lag. I need to stop flying for a little bit. I have today, tomorrow, and the day after the rest. That's it. And then we're back on the road.
Grinding. You are grinding, sir. So I want you to get some rest when you have a particular amount of days off because you have a crazy, I know, week ahead. It was
You know
just
what's the worst? I thought this was a week off. I got home yesterday from Atlanta. I'm like, sweet, I got 10 days to rest. Looked at the calendar and I'm like, no. Last week was the time to rest, and I ate up my weekend doing other stuff. So we're doing great.
what do you do on your time off? Like I know you probably are still busy, but what do you do?
I'm actually here at my wrestling school, so I train students Sunday through Tuesday. If I'm not doing that, I'm either going to shows that they are on because they get booked more than I do right now, and play my PlayStation 5 because I'm lucky enough to have one.
So what game do you have in your PlayStation 5 right now?
Right now, I have Dead by Daylight.
Okay. I like it. I like
Freddy
it.
Krueger be slashing it up, man. Freddy, that's my dude.
How fulfilling is that to kind of see the people that you train? Do you find it more fulfilling than, watching back one of your great matches or seeing them have a great match?
That's not where I thought the question was going. I thought you were going to ask how fulfilling is it to slap people up on Dead by Daylight.
That too.
It's pretty sweet to be Freddy Krueger in an alternate universe. But seriously, like last night was one of these moments where, out of whim, I decided to go to a show because two of my top students were there, Sam Beal and Jason Hodge, who signed to Impact Wrestling, and they're constantly doing things to progress when I'm not around. So I don't get to see all the progression anymore because they're not in here every day. They're grown men. They have lives to attend to. So like yesterday, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity. I'm going to show up, watch their match, see how they progress from the last time I've watched them or wrestled them. And they both were just so incredible. They really were. Two of my favorite matches. And I feel like it's biased to say that, but they were just so good. They're two of my favorite wrestlers at all to watch. And it's pretty surreal that I trained them.
And now you have them, you got Jason Hodge in Impact Wrestling, so you get to see him even more up close and personal. But speaking about Impact Wrestling, the day we are recording this interview, big news dropping. The opponent for you at Impact Sacrifice on March 24th has been announced. The handpick opponent of Santino Marella is none other than Lince Dorado. How excited are you for this matchup, for this opportunity with him, and to be in the ring with someone who is so well traveled like Lince?
I just found this out like 7 minutes ago. I had no idea. Like I haven't been on Twitter today, so I had no idea about it. But actually, he is one of my favorite people in the locker room. He's one of the funniest dudes, just super laid back, super chill. Another dude that wears a mask, and I'm like, bro, you are handsome, man. I don't know why you're covering up that smoter holder you got going on right there. But it's gonna be lucha lit. That's his thing. I'm with it. I like to party.
He brings the lucha, you bring the lit. That's how that works.
Bingo.
And then you gotta turn around talking about your crazy schedule after Sacrifice. You're going right into Multiverse United, similar to what you did last year at Multiverse of Matches. You have a multiple challengers for your X Division Championship. You got Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann, and then from New Japan Pro Wrestling, the LA Dojo boys of Kevin Knight and Clark Connors, as well as the veteran Rocky Romero. How do you prepare for two close title defenses, which are completely different from dealing with someone who's so lucha based as Lince Dorado to the multiple challengers that you're going to have at Multiverse United?
There's really nothing you can do to prepare yourself or to like strategize when you're the target. With a one-on-one match, I don't want to say that's easy, but it's easier. I can go into that with a plan. When there's six people so many different styles, people from so many different places with so many different wrestling moves. It's one of those things where you got to be quick. You got to be on your toes the entire time. You got to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and then roll out like a bitch. But those are my favorite kinds of matches to put on, though, because it's so chaotic. The action doesn't stop. The woos and the ahs are always there. If you look this way, you might miss something happening that way. But if you looked that way, you might miss something happening this way. And there's this magic to the formula if you do it right, to pull that match off correctly. And when you do it correctly, I think it's one of the best matches that can be featured on a card. I love multi-man matches.
And I say that.
So if anything, I might be sort of with like a home field advantage. I don't know if anyone else in this match likes multi-man as much as I do, but I feel at home in it. So
it feels right though. Multiverse United, multi-man matches,
multi-man, Spider Trey, like I gotta retain. I got to. I gotta go 2 for 2.
Exactly. He, Spider-Man introduced the multiverse. In Marvel, you are introducing the multi-man to the multiverse united. So that only makes the most sense.
I feel like someone is writing this on purpose.
I think so. I think
this is all by. I don't know.
Well, you have experienced kind of like an attitude change as of late over on Impact Wrestling. Kind of tell us what motivated this change in your attitude from being a longtime fan favorite for the Impact Wrestling fans to now showing more of an edge to yourself, and since you're in second reign as X Division champion.
Man, where do we start on this list? I got waterboarded by Steve Macklin. The Rascals got evicted. Sammy Callahan broke into my wrestling school and tried to make one of my star students beat me up. I had to do a Monsters Ball match, which required me to be locked in a dark room, foodless and waterless for 24 hours. I mean, like, I just don't understand how someone could be sane after. Ace Austin tried to bang my mom for like 3 months, man. That was a whole thing. True. It's so justified. And what was I supposed to do? I'm not happy about any of that. That shit's hard to keep on your chest and walk out there and shake hands and kiss babies. I'm done with all that. Man, you just bringing up traumas.
I didn't mean to have you bring up your trauma and put it in your face, but this is a question that people have been asking, what's motivated this. But I mean, when you lay it out all like that, it makes a world of sense. So I don't blame
it. All the sense in the entire world, man. I'm gonna write a book on
it. But you have also kind of embraced the spray paint that has been a moniker for your entrance. Now you're making it more a part of your character, spray painting the X Division Championship. You spray painted Crazy Steve in the eyes, and you're kind of a trendsetter yourself, because other people from other promotions have been embracing the green spray paint. So what has motivated you, and what have you thought about you kind of setting a trend in wrestling with the green spray paint?
It was weird to see. I'm not sour about it. I'm not anything. Nothing belongs to anyone in wrestling. These are just tools to get yourself from A to B. And I just wish it wasn't chosen to be done at the same time I'm doing it, if anything. Literally, I don't have a gripe about it, but I don't know. But at the same time, it's very cool to know that someone wants to do what you're doing.
It's true. It's true. That's what I said. You got to embrace it. You're a trendsetter.
When I step back and think about it, it's like, okay, that means we're doing something cool. Can't be mad at that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
maybe I don't know.
With this new attitude, I gotta ask, because you were introduced to Impact Wrestling fans as part of the Rascals, which was my personal favorite group that's been in Impact Wrestling. But right now it's an interesting time because there's other Rascals who are on the free agency, if you will, or kind of out there. Do you see yourself having a Rascals reunion now that you are in this new type of attitude attitude that you have, it's your second reign as X Division champion, someone like Myron Reed coming to Impact Wrestling for the first time, or Zachary Wentz returning to Impact Wrestling, is that something that you would be open to?
100%. And regardless of my attitude or anyone's perspective on it, they understand as well as I do that we are brothers. I don't think I'm a bad guy. I think I'm a rascal. I mean, rascals kind of do whatever they want. That's always been the MO. I do not see anything different, anything new. Maybe just a little bit of a tune, maybe we tune things up a little bit, but it's always been me. And I would love to have my Rascals at Impact Wrestling. That'd be amazing. The amount of trouble that we could get into would be 2 hours of that. That, and I miss my tree houses. That was my favorite part about being a Rascal, doing those segments.
That was my favorite thing about Impact on Access TV for so long, is who was going to show up in the treehouse. You've had various people from Gail Kim to Moose.
Man, the way Gail happened, let me tell this story. So we're walking down a hall in Windsor at the St. Clair College, and we're trying to put together what we want to do for this treehouse. And Gail just walks by and goes, "When do I get to come to the treehouse?" And we're like, "You want to do one of these?" And she's like, "Yeah, I've been wanting to." So we went up to Jimmy Jacobs or Tommy Dreamer, one of the two, and we're like, "Hey, can Gail be in it?" And they're like, "If you can make it make sense, we don't care." So that was so out of whim. It wasn't planned. It wasn't nothing like that. We were just like, "We want Gail Kim in this treehouse," and she wanted to do it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It turned out to be one of my favorites. Zach went on a date with her to go see who was it? I said I've been to the year 3000. I don't know what band it is.
That's awesome. Well, if the treehouse does return, this is an interesting question I could ask you. Anyone from the past, the present, from any other company, who would it be that you would want to invite into the treehouse?
Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley. Okay. All right. I like that.
Oddball. A huge oddball, right?
I wasn't expecting that.
It's to do with Kevin Nash back in the day. They were so funny, like him training him to wrestle. It was the most hilarious thing I'd ever seen. And I almost called him. Alex Shelley is one of the funniest, low-key, quiet human beings you'll ever meet. He won't let you know how funny that he is until he's just ready to be funny. And Saban is too, but there's just something about how reserved Shelley is out in the open. You know what I mean? So when he kind of lets you into his humor, it's so good. It really is. I think he'd fit as a Rascal.
Yeah, Paparazzi Productions, I feel like are the predecessor before the Treehouse segments. I think those go hand in hand, so I would love to see it come together. And
rightfully so. Shelley said that if there was ever a third machine gun, that it would be me. So I feel like it's just, I would have to. I'd 100% have to.
I love it. So we've had multiple people from Impact Wrestling going back to like Multiverse United that's coming up. We've seen people go over to New Japan Strong. Chris Bay and Ace Austin, they were in Japan for the Super Junior Tag League. Is kind of exploring the relationship between Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you making the jump over to maybe Japan or even New Japan Strong, something that you would be interested in? And if so, who would you like to get in the ring with?
100%. It has been something I've wanted to do for years now. And if I were granted my first pick of anyone to work there, it would be Robbie Eagles. Huge Robbie Eagles guy.
I am too. I've met him before, and he's just so great technically in the ring. I think that would be a great matchup with you, and you're both technically based as well as high flying. I think it would be a great matchup.
I got to wrestle with him a little bit in 2019 at WrestleCon, and it was him, Australian, Suicide, and who was the third? I don't know, but that was one of my favorite matches I've ever had. And Robbie Eagles was so sweet. He was out there doing stuff that I was watching from the side, like, I want to steal that. Teach me it. And another guy that's just genuinely such a nice human being in the back. It's crazy how much that will affect how much you want to work with someone, regardless of how talented they are, how over they are, how much this match could boost you. That's all good and dandy. If you're a nice, good brother to me, then I want to wrestle you. And he was.
So bringing a couple of different questions that I asked you about, because you brought up Ace Austin and your history with him, him going after your mother. I brought up how he went over to the Super Junior Tag League, and him and Chris Bay just won the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. If you were to, bring the Rascals back to Impact Wrestling, is this kind of like unfinished business with the tag team titles? Because I was always a big proponent of the Rascals should have been tag team champions. So is that something that is in the back of your mind as a goal that you want to check off the list?
Not so much as it was for Des and Zach. They were booked more as a tag team than I was. They kind of separated us a little bit when we were the trio. You kind of seen them featured as the tag team more than you've seen us as a trio. I was kind of getting a singles run the entire time. So throughout all of their chasing, they never got the belts. And I think that if either of them got to come back for any kind of storyline or stunt, that there would be some sort of personal meaning behind it or personal payoff that they would be looking for. But mine has always been the X Division Championship. In the history that I have with Ace, I want to settle it over that.
Makes
I've
sense.
never won a match with Austin. Like in a singles. It's just never happened.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see you guys go out.
I'm quitting. I'm going to donate my last check to you.
No.
Man. And then he's trying to bang my mom. Like, dude, you're beating me in all these matches and you're trying to get with my mom. Like, pick one or the other, bro. I cannot take all of this. This is hard. That's a lot.
You guys tore it up last year. I remember at Under Siege. It was one of my favorite X Division matches that I've seen in like recent memory. And every time you guys in the ring, it's just magic. So I want to see you guys go at it again for the X Division Championship. I think you need to get that off your bucket list to check off beating Ace Austin with the X Division Championship up for grabs.
If I had an X bucket lister inside of Impact, it would be that.
But with that X Division Championship, I hear a lot from other, competitors in the X Division that I've spoken to. They want to hold on to the X Division, championship, and they view it as just as important as the World Championship. But there's always kind of that cloud over any X Division Championship reign, and that cloud is called Option C. Yeah. So is that something that ever comes to your mind anytime you've had the title?
Nope. If anything, and this is something I tell everyone anytime they ask me the question, is I want to be the first person to not cash it in and have the X Division and the World Champion. And correct me if I'm wrong. I could very well be wrong. I don't think anyone's ever had both at the same time. Why not do that? Why give up one for the other when you could just have both? I don't see why it can't be that way. Have my cake and eat it too, frosting and on. Have edible letters, edible candles, all of it.
And that was my final question to you for all of our fans, because we do over on Tru Heel, we do a watch along for Impact on Access TV called Blunt Impact, because our two hosts are very enthusiast as yourself. So what would be the one edible you would tell Chris G and Ness of Blunt Impact to have while watching Impact on Access TV?
You can get a Trey's Treats from Russell Buds. It is a Cookie Crisp marshmallow treat, and it is so good. So
good. I'm literally just gonna clip this for them, because that'd be there. They are definitely gonna take your advice, and they're gonna do that. But
dude, you just reminded me that they sent me some, and I have like this crazy Oreo chocolate cake thing sitting in my fridge, and when I get out of here, it's time to go eat that thing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time, Trey. I'm going to let you go so you could go handle that. Please let the people know where they can follow you on social media. Of course, everything that's going on with Impact Wrestling at 6TV, Impact Insiders, and DAZN. Please let the people know.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Trey Miguel. I'm also on Cameo at Trey Miguel. I do not TikTok. I have a TikTok, but I do not TikTok. But if you want to watch what I have posted, you can follow that page at Trey Miguel as well. And also check out Pro Wrestling Tees. I have cool designs. Check out my Pro Wrestling Tees. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Trey. This has been Tru Heels BTR Between the Ropes with Impact Wrestling X Division Champion Trey Miguel. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are signing off until next time.